it's irrelevant. So let's see, ASXC. So he bought it here and got stopped out on at 410. I guess the next day. ASXC. ASXC. So he bought it. Wait. Okay. So that wasn't an ideal entry day. The thing is, here's the entry day. Okay, this was the bounce of the 50-day, and here's where the range break was. You know, this is not the entry day. You shouldn't have entered it here. You always try to buy on the entry day. The setup itself, I mean, I guess it was okay. Higher lows, big momentum stock, but when is this? 22nd of March, like 22nd of March, like the market was kind of in a correction type of a thingy, right? Russell too, Nasdaq, Russell. Well, Russell was okay, but yeah, it wasn't good for a good market environment. That's why it failed, and now it's down way big since. Okay, let's do the next one, ET. So he bought it here, and you got stopped out at 795 to say, okay, so why was you stopped at 795 and not the lows for the day? That's what I want to ask you. Why 795? And the setup itself, not that great. This is a big laggard energy stock. Like, energy stocks have been running for like 5-6 months. This was a huge laggard. You know, it's something to be aware of. You don't want to get into laggards. FLL. Oh, okay, this is not good. Okay, I mean, look. Bought the breakout at 984. I assume it's this day here. You bought it at where? 984? You bought it on this day here? Where's the breakout? There's no breakout here. If you really love this stock, this would have been the entry day, and even this was maybe a 3-star setup at most. This is, what the hell is this? No. This is not a setup. You really need to spend time on setups. You really need to, like, you can start with my swing trading school. Like, this is not a good setup. This is if you want to blow up. That's a good setup if you want to blow up. All right, let's do the next one. Yeah, someone has to buy the, okay. Ooh, okay, yeah. The good thing is, it's very easy to fix your problems because your setups and entries are pretty much like the setups you trade are mediocre is being generous. So you bought here for an EP bounce. Okay. This is not. There is no such thing as an EP bounce. This is not an EP. Okay, so really, guys, this is Tesla 85. You really need to follow the instructions on the screen, okay? Here is all the information you need about setups. You really need to work on your setups. It's very easy to fix your problems. If you keep doing this stuff, you're gonna blow up. And I would say also, you know, don't do these types of mean reversion trades. They're not reliable. They're just, you know, they're very tricky. Chafin, let's see. So you bought it here. You got stopped out to say. So what was it? What's the setup here? 10-day bounce? I don't see anything here. It's just random. Like, pretty much everything you do is just random, which is the good news. So it's very easy to identify a problem. OVV. Now this setup was okay. I think I had on my own watch list, but I bought, I think it was KBE the same day. I got stopped out myself It's a no, sorry. I had no, wait, which one? Yeah, Gush, the Gush ETF. Because there was a lot of setups in the energy sector, but I would say it was a decent setup, but it just failed. It failed. So that's the first good setup with a good entry so far. You bought it 2506. Yeah, that was a good one. It just sometimes setups fail. It just happens. Okay. UAMY. Let's see. So you bought it here. Again, like I don't see anything here. It's just I mean, he bought it. It was inside of a range. I don't know what you saw here. I mean, yes, it was a momentum stock. Had pulled back to the 50, built higher lows, but there was no breakout here. You bought it inside of a range. Okay, so that was that. When did I start? Was it like 10 minutes ago? I need to remember the timestamp for the YouTube video. Can anyone remember when I started? What time it was? I think it was like 10 minutes ago. Like 16:05. 6 minutes ago, so 16:10, okay. 16:10, alright, good. Has this guy given me access yet? Let's see. Okay, here it is. Okay, so APHA. So I'm doing, let's see, who is this? Pfizer shot. Let's see here. Okay, so he bought it here. The setup itself here, I remember it. I bought it myself. I thought it was a really good setup. It just didn't work out. It just didn't work out. Next one, Sientra. Where did he buy it? Here. I'm not sure what you saw here. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's just best to wait for a breakout. Like, okay, I get it. It's a momentum stock, had a little bit of a flag, but where did he buy it? 808. I mean, you can anticipate a breakout. And you know what I think about anticipating breakouts. I'm not a fan. So, yeah, this one totally failed. UVXY. Also, guys, you shouldn't be trading these types of things, these volatility instruments, unless you really know what the hell you're doing. I'm not even going to review the trades. You bought it here and here. You know, if you really need to know what the hell you're doing. These things are going to cut your accounts to pieces. Oh, indices. Yeah, no, don't trade these things, seriously. DSX. He bought it here. That's a good setup. That's a really good setup. This is a 5-star setup. Really good setup, okay? And you stopped on this day here. Why did you stop on this day here? 327. Why did you stop at 327? Like, why did you get stopped out on 327 this day? I don't get it. What was the reason for that? Oh, sorry, that was half size. Okay, so you just sold half size on day 3 to 5. Okay, sorry, I misread it. And here on this day, it didn't. Yeah, it closed below the 10-day, but it closed way off the lows. So you kept the half size and then you got stopped out the next day. Okay, yeah. No, this is a good trade. I give you five out of 5 on this trade. It was a good setup and you followed the rules. This is good. This is good. Now it didn't make a big move or anything, which is, you know, not everything is gonna make a big move. But that was, I give you, this is the, yeah, this was a good one. 5 out of 5. You followed the rules, it was a good setup, and you followed the exit rules. Very good. OGI. Let's see here. EP, yeah, it was an EP. I traded it too. It just didn't have any follow through. And you got stopped out. It's not obvious where you got stopped out. Oh, you bought it. Okay, so yeah, the entry wasn't good. You kind of anticipated a breakout of the highs of the day. It didn't come until like later in the day. But yeah, I give you a 4 out of 5 on this trade. It was a good setup. But your entry wasn't great. And you would have gotten stopped out anyways, so it doesn't matter. Okay, UAL. And that one too, it didn't really have much follow through, so like I lost money on that one. I thought it was gonna go to $5-6, but or actually it did go to almost 5, but maybe $6 or something. UAL Airlines, yeah, the good entry, good entry. I bought this one too, or I think I bought one of the airlines on this day. It was a, you know, it was a decent setup. It and you got stopped the same day. Yeah, I don't blame you because it did close kind of weak, and sometimes it's just best to get out if the stock closes weak on the breakout day. Now, this trade would have worked out if you had been, you know, following the the sell rules, but it's fine. You know, sometimes when a breakout closes like this, it's just, you know, best to get out. So it was a good trade. I would say it was a good trade overall, even though if you had followed the sell rules, you would have actually made money on it. But sometimes it's better to be defensive. TRCH. Bought it here and you got stopped out here. So was it a good setup? I mean, I guess it was an okay setup. But it just, I don't know, maybe a 3-star. BHR. Okay, I can see it right, you know, it's kind of choppy one. Let's see, where did you buy? You bought it here. Reopening hotel play. Okay, you anticipated a breakout that never happened. Okay. Again, like I personally don't like anticipation. Because the fail rate is so much higher. Zom bought it here and Panic sold it 222 on this day. Well, you would have gotten stopped out anyways. I mean, the setup was okay, I guess, but yeah, it didn't really give you. And also, like all of these trades there from like March, like breakouts were tricky. March was a very tricky month for breakouts, so that's where there's so many fails. Sendiel. You bought it here, sold it here. The setup wasn't that great. It wasn't a great setup. SOS. Bought it here. And I guess you stopped out. Oh, you stopped out the same day, break even? Okay. The setup, was it good? I guess it was okay. But again, March was a tricky month, because a lot of the speculation money flew, you know, kind of flowed out of the market. The speculation money that came into the market November to February, most of it, you know, it went away in March. GMBL, you bought it here. That's when I bought it. and you got stopped out here following the sell rules. Yeah, you know, it was an okay setup, and the whole sector was kind of strong, but it just didn't work out. Again, March, what can I say? It was month of March. RKT, I bought it here. That was a shitty setup. Yeah, it was a really shitty setup. And you got stopped out the same day. What's this? Eyes. Again, not that great of a setup. I think I traded it myself. Or actually it was, I don't know. It was okay, I guess. It just, again, what can I say? Month of March. If it had been in January, it would have gone to 30. NXTD, again, like these are like broken, like a lot of these broken momentum stocks. You bought it here, got stopped out. Again, it wasn't a great setup. It was wide and loose, and there was no higher lows, and it's just a broken momentum stock, some random pump stock. UVXY, I'm not even gonna go through UVXY. None of you should be trading those things unless you really know what the hell you're doing. TCAT. You bought it here. I don't see anything there. You saw a potential little breakout on the 60-minute. This is what you saw. Again, you're kind of anticipating a move that you think is gonna happen, but that's the thing, you know. I don't. You know what I think about anticipation. HOFV, it never had a breakout. Said it broke down. HOFV, what's this? You bought it here. Yeah. Well, the entry was solid, I guess. It was a tight entry in the 60-minute. It just didn't have any follow through. What's this? GMBL again. Bought it here, stopped out the next day. It wasn't a great setup. It was below the declining 10 day, was below the declining 20 day. I'm not sure it was a good setup. Riot. You bought it here, and you got stopped out here. It wasn't a clean setup. Like they're not great setups. They're not great setups. Focus on flags. Like this is a good setup. Okay, this is a good setup. When you just break out of clean ranges, these are all just, you know, fantasy trades. Just a random range break, and you hope that they're gonna go to the moon. Again, you know, it's a broken momentum stock. There's nothing here. Bought it here, sold here, nothing here. Bad setup. WTI. I'm gonna show you a good setup was on SPWR. This was a good setup. Clean range break. This was a good setup. Clean range break. I think was it this one I traded and sold it because I didn't follow my sell rules, I think so. This was a good setup. Clean break, like clean flag break, because something buying, you know, down here. I mean, it looks like shit. Where's your edge? Like, there's nothing there. WTI. Again, you know, just a random broken stock. You know, the 20-day was declining, the 10-day was declining. It's just random update. If you keep buying random stuff, you're gonna blow up. Mods, EP. Let's see here. I mean, it was a solid EP. And if it had more volume, I would probably have traded myself. It just didn't work out. The setup was decent, I guess, but it just didn't work out. Again, month of March. If this had happened in November, December, it would have, you know, it would have done this without stopping you out first. Riot again. I went through that one already. MSTR. And MSTR, you bought it yesterday, got stopped out. It wasn't a good setup. Just easy as that. Just a random bit, you know, no, nothing there. I'm gonna show you a good setup. Okay. Where is it? This was a good setup. Wait, here. This was a good setup. It had been showing relative strength. The market was pulling back during this time. Bitcoin pulled back to the 50-day. This MSTR surfed the 20. Showed relative strength. That was a good setup. That one I traded. Down here yesterday was just a random. It didn't show any relative strength to Bitcoin. It was just a random broken momentum stock. CDEV. We bought it yesterday, got stopped out. Again, I guess it was kind of a decent setup, but you know, sometimes better just wait for the breakout. And don't, you know, you don't have to be the first one in. Like if you can see, look at the 60-minute, it just popped a little bit and then just straight out faded. Sometimes it's just better to wait a little bit and see if it holds. The range breakout actually holds. Yeah, 2 winners and 28 losses. Yeah, and you would have avoided, out of those 28 losses, you would have avoided 20 of them if you had focused on like really good setups. All right, great. So I did 2 people. And again, both of these, you know, most of the issue was just, you know, trading mediocre setups. That's the issue. You really need to focus at, you know, at least you need to spend at least a few hundred hours studying what a good setup looks like. That's what it comes down to. And less anticipation and more actual breakouts. There were a lot of, you know, anticipation breakouts just failed. A lot of losses that could have been avoided if you just waited for a breakout, because, you know, those breakouts never happened. All right, I'm done with the struggling trader. What should we call it? Mentorship? No. Struggling trader feedback. Struggling trader feedback. Not a good setup. This goes against anything I teach. Like, you know, it needs to be tight. Needs to be breaking out of a tight range, and preferably maybe, you know, breaking out of a moving average. Not a good setup. That's an easy one. Shitty setup. Man, I can. Okay. Okay, next one is DS. Entry here. Again, it's not a good setup. Like, it's just a random stock, and, you know, there's no setup there. I mean, clearly, like, these are really shitty setups. No setups. Here. EXPR, I mean, that was maybe okay, I guess, but it didn't really build higher lows. So it was a little bit tricky one. I guess it was an okay setup. GSM, entry here, another one. Like, what the hell? What is this? Like, is this a tight candle? These 3 previous days, are these tight days? What the fuck is this? Come on. Not good. Shitty setup. No setup. What's the next one? C. Now, like, these are so easy. They're such shitty setups. And that's the problem. People keep buying these shitty setups. I should do another criteria, okay? Like, I'm only gonna do struggling trader review on people who have spent at least 200-300 hours studying good setups. Like, what are the setups where stocks make big moves? Because apparently none of these people have done it. Let's see, next one. again, like, what the fuck is this? He bought it here. Like, what the hell is this? Like, it's a down trading stock. Like, what are you seeing here? Is it surfing any of these moving averages? Like, there's nothing there. Shit setup. ISR, another one. Like a random stock in a downtrend. So he bought it here. Like on this day here. Okay, I guess I see it. Okay, it's surfing there, but it's just a random pump stock. Like the moving average rules, like these micro cap pumps, you know, they work differently than like mid large cap stocks. There's no institutional support behind them. Like there's no reason for these things to go up, and it was all over the place. There's no linearity. There's no, not a good setup. MBI, broken microcap pump. Let's see, MBI bought it here. Like, okay, so it was like a high tide flag type of a scenario, and actually it's a good setup now. It's actually a good setup now. It's been building a nice range. I don't know what the news were though. But again, so he bought it here. Here. Okay, so he anticipated a breakout. Okay, because this stock barely took out the previous day's highs. Like, it was an okay setup. Like before it totally failed and went down. Like I can see it. Like I can see what the, you know, not bad, not bad. But kind of maybe, you know, a little bit of anticipation. What was the entry? No, sorry, not you. Yeah, well, wait. 20. Oh, okay. He didn't state the entry price, so he kind of anticipated it. So you know, sometimes, like I say before, just you don't have to be the first one in. Sometimes it's better to just wait for the stock to, you know, actually have a little bit of upticks before you enter. Mogo. Again, I mean, what is this? Does this look like a good setup? Like, this was a decent setup, okay? Momentum stock, it pulled back to the 50-day, had another pop, pulled back, found support on the 50-day again, built a little bit of a range, some higher lows, and then broke out of this pullback range. Like, that was an okay setup. Like, what the hell is this? It's just a continuation move. Like, it's not a setup. NDRA. I mean, again, like, what the hell is this? Like, I mean, how do you trade something like this? There's no linearity on this stock at all. It's just all over the place. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. I don't think it was a, you know, great, you know, I would have passed on it. Like, it's just, you want like linear moves. You want controlled moves, not things that are all over the place. Like, I get it, it's surfing the 50-day, and also, like, you know, it's a microcap stock. Like, microcaps, you really don't even want them to, you know, surf the 50-day. They should, you know, they're usually kind of broken when they fall that far. Like, microcaps are a little bit trickier. You want them to surf the 10 and 20 generally, especially the 20. And the entry was the day after. I don't think it was a good setup. What's the next one? ORMP. Okay, so that one, I mean, this was an okay one, I guess. It's been building higher lows. Yeah, it was a good setup, didn't work out. OTLK, another long stretch. Like, you really don't want to buy these microcap pumps of the 50-day. Like, they're usually, they have their day in the sun and then they fade off, and like, there's no institutional buying pressure in these things. They don't have to bounce off these moving averages and go higher. It's not something like a stock like Square or Roku that are, you know, changing the way we do things, right? There's constant buying pressure. Institutions want in. These are worthless pieces of paper, and you know, these things have all lost their momentum. What's this? Isaiah. This one. Again, it's just too random looking to me. It wasn't really surfing the 50 any of the moving averages, and just too random. It did work out in hindsight, but it's not really a great setup in my opinion. NMM. Now here we are talking. Now this is good. This is good. This is how you trade. Momentum stock pulls back to one of the key moving averages, and then kind of has a breakout candle off the rising moving average. This case, there was a 20-day. That was a good one. That's a good one. That's a good setup. It's linear. It's orderly. It's not random. That's an edge. Futu is setting up for later this week or next week. What's the next one? Soxel. Oh, here. Yeah, that's a good one. That's the same day I bought it. But you know, we can't look at the Soxel chart itself. We have to look at SMH chart, because Soxel is just a triple ETF of SMH, and this is a really good setup. This is a good one. This is a 5-star. These are the types of setups you want to see. Look at how linear and orderly it is. Pulled back to the 100-day, found support. Pulled back to 100-day again, found support, and then broke out of this range. And it also showed relative strength. The whole semiconductor complex showed relative strength for several weeks before this breakout. That's a good one. All right. That was today's struggling trader feedback. 90% of the setups were just shitty. That's the issue. No rocket science. You just need to be able to identify good setups. That's the key. You need to spend at least a few hundred hours learning what a good setup is. And you need to do the work yourself. You need to go back and look. Just do a scan of stocks that are up, over the past few years, and look at how they move. You don't even have to go back 50 years. You can go back 5 years. Look at how stocks move. What are the patterns you can see before stocks make big moves? All right, let's do a struggling trader coaching. Let's see. OCG. This is a short one. I'm gonna try to do one per day, no matter how long they are. Let's see. 4-5. That means 4-5. That means 5th of April, right? Here. Again, like it's super, like this. Yeah, well, it's a hot theme. NFT stock. Why is the text gone? There used to be text here. I played it myself on the EP here. But again, these micro caps, like especially these micro cap pumps, like there's no institutional support on these things. Just because they don't have to, or no stock has to bounce, but there's no reason for these things to bounce off the moving averages, because there's no fund wants these things. It's just retail pump. So these are better when they surf the 10-day generally, not when they're way off their highs. And so that's an easy one. But I see what you see. It found support on their 20 and started surfing it, but it kind of doesn't apply to the microcap pumps. A pump is a pump, and once they go down, they're probably, most of the time, they're just dead. 6th of April. Oh, maybe I should write the guy. This is TWSN01. Let's see. Wait, where am I? Okay, here. No, wait, where did the document go? Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, so 6th of April, let's see here. So again, it's like I see what it is, like it's surfing the 50-day, but it's kind of all over the place. Again, a microcap stock. it's just all over the place. It wasn't tight, and yeah, it kind of didn't go anywhere. Not sure if it was a good setup. It probably wasn't. Again, it wasn't clean. It's all over the place. Next one, V-Cell. 8th of April. Okay. So setup itself, I guess it was pretty decent. Surfing the 20, building higher lows, getting tighter. Wasn't a bad setup, but it was, you know, bad market. Not a great market for these smaller cap stocks and biotech stocks. So setup itself was maybe 3.5 star. HIBB, 9th of April. Like, I see what you see, but it wasn't really a good setup. Like, it's yes, it was building higher lows and surfing this moving average, taking out a range, but it just looks all over the place. Not really the type of stock you want to trade, even though it has the correct ADR and stuff like that. But you know, it takes years to see which ones are worth it and which ones are not. GPRO, 9th of April. Okay, this wasn't a good setup. It wasn't. Like, I would personally have wanted more sideways. It wasn't a great setup. It was okay, but you know, mediocre. And you know, when you do mediocre setups in a not a great market, in a market that's not straight up, this is what happens. Tesla, 9th of April. 9th of April? No, 12th of April. No, never mind. Okay, so that's a 5-star entry. That's a 5-star setup. No, he didn't take this one? Oh, he just wanted my... Yeah, it's a 5-star setup. This is a good one. Been building higher lows. Was really tight. And it was close to breaking out of this range on the weekly. So that was pretty much a 5-star, or at least a 4-star. But apparently he didn't take it. Just wanted feedback on it. TX 14th. Let's see here. Again, it's just a random setup. Like, you know, it's just too random. It's kind of hard to describe what's a good setup and not. It's just too random. Like, in a very good market, these types of setups will work, but yeah. You really want the great setups, but honestly, none of these were great setups. They were, you know, some of them were bad and some of them were like 3. Tesla was the only 4-star one, I guess. Zim, 1st of April. 1st of April. Okay, was a pretty decent setup. Momentum stock, pulled back to the rising 20, and this was the bounce off the 20. So it was a good setup. Well, again, actually, it wasn't that good of a setup. Like, I personally would have preferred a little bit more sideways, but this one worked out, obviously. But I wouldn't say it was more than 3.5 stars. If it had got sideways for another day, it would have easily been a 4.5 star setup. So this is what you want. You want to preferably buy them very close to the moving averages, the 10 or the 20 day, or the 50 day, if it's not a micro cap. And GMBL, I'm seeing his notes now. Yeah. So yeah, like when you get these microcap stocks, you want them to surf the 10 and the 20 day, not the 50 day. His entry was here. It wasn't a great setup. It was so sloppy before it, but also, you know, like these microcap stocks, you know, when they get to the 50, it's probably most of the time an avoid. If it's a mid to large cap, 50 day works really well, as well as any of the other moving averages. So that was today's struggling. So yeah, the setups were not really great. And honestly, there hasn't actually been, over the past 6 to 8 weeks, in like high ADR land, which means micro and small caps mostly, there hasn't been a lot of good setups. And when you don't get good setups, you don't trade. But obviously for a new trader, it's kind of hard to determine what's a good setup and what's a mediocre. And that's why it's so important to actually study, spend hundreds and hundreds of hours and look at what do the patterns look like before a stock makes a big move. You will, you know, and what type, like how do stocks move? You'll quickly see which stocks are worth it and which ones are not. Or actually not quickly, but it takes years. It takes years to get good at it. Oh, okay. Okay, so he bought it here, got stopped out the same day. I guess it was an okay setup, but it kind of obviously failed in a big way. Yeah, that was near the peak of the SPAC market. You can see why it failed, because Nasdaq pulled back. You know, Nasdaq had a big run, multi-month run, and you know you want to buy breakouts when the market, you know, the Nasdaq I think is the best index to follow, comes out of a multi-month sideways consolidation or a multi-month sell-off. Here, good time to buy breakouts. Here, not so much. And that's why it's failed. The setup itself was pretty, you know, was okay, but you know, once the market is straight up for multiple months, you gotta be careful buying breakouts. You should have already, you know, bought breakouts for many months. LAC, I don't know where his center is. I can't determine. I can't see. Again, I don't understand where his center is. I have no idea. Like the format he posted is super weird. Okay, Peloton. If I see it correctly, he had an entry here. It was a good setup. It failed. But again, like this thing was a huge laggard. Again, early February, mid-February, you tried to buy. Like the setups themselves were okay. Actually, they were pretty decent. But you know, you put them in the correlation with the market, and you'll see, you know, it was a huge laggard compared to the market. And then the market started pulling back mid-February, and everything failed. FSR, right here on this day. I also bought it this day. It was a EP type of a type, but yeah, it failed. It failed. I thought it was a good setup. A lot of volume, took out this long range, and at that time the EV related name was really hot. But that was obviously at the end of the move, so that's why it failed. OEG, let's see, where did he enter here? If I understand it correctly, well, he entered here. No, he entered here, never mind. Super confusing charts. But yeah, it was a good setup, but you know, again, like I said it before, like there were a lot of micro caps that had these types of setups. What were the others? I don't even remember them. Was ICE one of them? No, not ICE. Bingo was one. Like Bingo, back in mid-February, these micro caps that were up thousands of %. You have to understand, like, they're not gonna go up forever. Like, this thing was up 1,700%, 1,600%. And yeah, the setup was great, but again, the Nasdaq crapped and all of these things went down. What's this? I don't know where his entry is. Twitter, again, not a good setup. Or well, yeah, no. It was a high tide flag, gapped up, but again, late February, market was kind of soft. It had already, you know, like the 10-day had started sloping down. When is the best time to buy breakouts? Chat, come on. Come on, chat. When is the best time to buy breakouts? What do we want to see in the moving averages? After correction? Yeah, but the moving averages. When the 10-day is above the 20-day, yeah? More. Rising 10-day, 20-day. We want to see the 10-day above the 20-day, and both the 10-day and 20-day need to be rising. Or one of them can be sideways, but at least one of them needs to be rising. That's when you have good conditions, generally, for breakouts. Not a perfect indicator, but like in late February, the 10-day had started sloping down, the 20-day was sideways. Actually, yeah, in late February. So that was a warning sign that you shouldn't buy breakouts. Like Twitter, yeah, Twitter did look good. Like if I compare this setup, I'm gonna show you guys. You know, you just see this setup here. Big move, found support on a rising 10-day, and building high tide flag. Next day gaps up, but in this case it crapped and it never went higher. Now let's look at something like NIO. I'm gonna show you. Similar setup. Fairly similar setup. For example, something like this. Big move, pulled back to the 10-day, started building a flag, and it went straight up. Why did it go straight up? Well, because the market had just come out of a multi-month correction, and that was the start of a multi-month move. And NIO had shown strength all the way. That's a good time to buy breakouts, when the market comes out of a multi-month sideways or multi-month correction. Not when the market has already run for 2-3 months straight up and it's starting to lose momentum. Not a good time to buy breakouts. Next, Corsair. If I understand this correctly, he bought it here. Again, good setup, but yeah, early February, that was near the peak of the market. And this thing had been lagging for a while. Like look at this thing. December, late November to early February. This thing went sideways. Look at what the Nasdaq did. Nasdaq went straight up during this time. Huge laggard. The setup itself was good, but again, you see laggards starting to break out after a multi-month move. You gotta be careful. Sometimes they can work, but you know, the fail rate is gonna be higher. This one I don't understand where the entry was. Super confusing format. I don't know. I don't know where his entry was. What's this? OEG? He bought it here. Oh, this one I already went through. Again, it was up over 1,000%. The setup itself was good, but you gotta be careful. Like these ones that are up like 1,000, 2,000% in a few months. Like they're not gonna keep going up forever. You're just not gonna get a high tide flag, a double, high tide flag, a double, high tide flag, a double for eternity. You know, the higher they go, the higher the fail rate will be eventually. What's this? Again, I don't. If I understand it correctly, he bought it here. And again, like these micro caps, small caps. Well, actually, back then it was a higher market cap, but yeah, I kind of see this. It found support on the rising 50, and it broke this range, but it wasn't a clean setup. And again, the market was, you know, started correction. Speculation money started leaving. Like when did I go short plug and Tesla? Oh, that was mid-February. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, early February, that's when we started seeing these danger signs. Late January. Yeah, you know, it's pretty much, you know, some of the setups were good, but again, the market conditions weren't good. Actually, I have to say this guy had the best setup so far in struggling trader feedback. I would say generally, but again, like you need to have market awareness. Very important. You just can't keep doing the same thing over and over again. You have like it's not that easy. Good setup, buy. No, you need to be aware of the market conditions. Yeah, exactly. He says entries, his setups were pretty good. Like they were actually, all of the setups pretty much were pretty decent and actually very good, but the market was bad during the February era. Ugly market? I mean, look, if you're in the right stocks, it's not ugly. Like the large caps are working fine. It's not straight up, but you know, if you're in that select large caps that are working, it's fine. But yeah, the micro and smaller caps have been struggling. Yeah, some things you have to learn yourself, but at some point you gotta get your shit together and start learning from other mistakes, because you know, obviously, you know, you're gonna blow up in the beginning, or a lot of people do because they have no risk management. But after a point, you can't just keep blowing up when something new comes, right? Because once you learn risk management, you can't blow up. But you can learn from other people's mistakes. Let's see, AMTX. 9th of April. 9th of April. Why? Is there a setup here? 9th of April. No setup. GoPro, 9th of April. Yeah, it wasn't a good setup. I know someone else traded it too on the Struggling Trader review. Yeah, it's not a good setup. It's not a good setup. It's more of a range. KOPN, 9th of April. Again, like, what is this? I mean, not a good setup. You need more of a range. Well, this is easy so far. None of these are easy setups. Sorry, easy setups. They're all shitty setups. This is a 2.2 ADR stock. They shouldn't even be trading this one. The setup itself, nah, it wasn't really good. It's all over the place. AR, 9th of April. Okay, I mean, I get it if you buy on this day. It was, I guess, an okay setup. Slow-moving stock, but why do you buy it the 9th? No, sorry, it was the 8th. Never mind. He's going down with days. Yeah, I mean, I guess the setup was okay, but again, a slow-moving stock, you shouldn't be trading it. Blink, 9th of April, 8th, sorry, 8th of April. Yeah, it wasn't really great setup. Was surfing the 100-day, small cap stock. Focus on the ones that surf the 20, the 50, the 10. It's just a broken stock. GPS, 8th of April. Absolutely no setup. Again, like, there's no setup there. Like, this is not what a good setup looks like. Next ST. 7th of April. Again, low ADR stock. Why do you even trade it? The setup itself, I mean, it was kind of okay, I guess. But, you know, you shouldn't be even trading this thing. Square, 7th of April. Again, there's no setup there. Like, it's been grinding higher for like 3-4 days. Like, why do you buy it here? Just a random update. Needs to come off a solid range, a tight range. V-cell, 7th of April. I don't know. It looks just too random. They all just look too random. Like you gotta spend a lot of time, like really zooming in. What is a good setup? Like none of these have been good setups so far. Some of them have been okay, but they've been on like low ADR stocks. You know, there's a lot of randomness in the market. You need to get out of the randomness. Really need to spend a lot of time, you know, understanding what's random and what's not. 6th of April, again, it's just a random, like, well, there's nothing there. GPS, 6th of April. Did we just go through this one? Oh, he traded this again. Like, wait, he traded it the 8th and the 6th. Like 6th, like, okay, I mean, I see what you see. You know, it's a kind of tight range. Been grinding higher, but again, it's a slower moving stock, and on these ones, you usually need bit more sideways. It looked a bit random. In this case, it had, you know, it worked out, but to me, it looked kind of random, and it's a little bit of a slow stock for most of you guys. KSS, 6th of April. Again, it's just a random update. It's just too random. I mean, I see what you see. It's surfing the 20-day, tested the 50, reclaimed, had a little bit of a range, but it needs to be better. Like right now, I think the setup is five times better, and even now, it's not complete. I think the 50-day needs to catch up. It's been in a big run already. It needs more sideways. RCL, 6th of April again. Like if you keep doing this to yourself, you won't have an account left soon. Like what is it? Like what is this? It's just a random day. Like there's absolutely no edge buying something like this. You need to do a lot of work. You need to spend a lot of time studying setups. A lot of time. A lot of time. You probably shouldn't be trading. If you're watching this right now, you should stop trading and just study setups. Because at this rate, you know, this is very bad. Saber, 6th of April. Am I reading this right? Yeah, I'm reading this right. Like, okay, 6th of April. And also, you're doing a lot of trades. You're doing like 4 or 5 trades every single day. Stop it. No more than 1 trade per day for you. No more than 1 trade per day. You're gonna blow up so fast. Holy shit. Again, I mean, what is this? Like, what do you see here? No. Like right now, Saber is a good setup. It's a tight range, surfing the 50-day. And if it has a breakout here, it would be a decent setup. Now, the market is kind of so-so. But, like, that's what you want to look for. When they kind of surf the 50, the 20, and then break out of a tight range. But this thing, it had a potential setup on this day here, but I don't get it, like, why the next day entry? GME is going now. Saber, Twitter. Let's see. 6th of April again. Now that was a decent setup. That's a good setup. And I bought it the same day. I'm gonna tell you why this is a good setup. Now it is a slow moving stock. You kind of shouldn't have traded it, but it's a good setup because look how nicely it was surfing the 50-day undercut, reclaimed, and then it broke out of it. It pierced both the 50 and the 20. Look at how nicely it surfed the 50-day and reclaimed, and had this little bit of a range expansion. It's not like a 5-star setup, but I thought it was a really good setup. That's why I bought it. So that's the first good setup, or the second good setup so far. GM, let's see. Again, 2.9 ADR. You shouldn't even have these things in your scan. What date? 5th of April. 5th of April. Again, it's just too random. It's all over the place. Yeah, it's surfing the 50, but this is not a good base structure. It just doesn't look good. It's just not a clean setup. It's all over the place. You need to work on your setups. JCI again, 1.6 ADR. Okay. Yeah, you really should do something. You shouldn't get these stocks. You shouldn't even look at these stocks ever. 5th of April. It's this day. Yeah, I mean, I guess it was kind of tight surfing the 20, but these low ADR stocks are tough, man. They're tough. RCL, 5th of April. 5th of April. Again, it wasn't that great of a setup. It wasn't tight. Wasn't tight. TFC, 5th of April. 5th of April. Again, 2.2 ADR. What can I say? And this is not really a momentum stock. Like, you know, it's not a really momentum stock. You can kind of see it on the chart. It's just a grinder. Yeah. It's because it's a low ADR. Now the setup would have been much better if it was a stock that had ADR 5. Let's see, UAL. 5th of April. Again, it's just a random setup. Like if you look at the action the few days before, now this stock would have needed a few more days of sideways. It's just incomplete. It's too random. It's too random. And if you trade things that are random, you're gonna get random results. Win, 5th of April. No, yeah, 5th of April. Okay, and again, here we are again. It's a slow ADR stock and it's a shitty setup. There's nothing there. Now this was an easy case. Get rid of the slow moving stocks, and they pretty much all of them were shitty setups. And if they weren't outright shitty setups, then they were just too random on random stocks. You need to get the randomness out. You need to trade the top momentum stocks. That's where your edge is. None of these, or pretty much none of these, were top momentum stocks. Most of them were kind of low ADR. And the setups were just not good. You need to spend a lot of time focusing on setup. Like, what is a good setup? You need to go back, spend a few hundred hours at least. Go back 10 years. Look at stocks that have made big moves. Look at the patterns. Like, what do stocks like the leading stocks, the stocks that make the biggest moves? Like, how do they look like before they start or when they start their big moves? What's the common thing? It's usually some kind of range expansion. And the setups you trade, no, most of them were just random setups on random stocks. So this was another easy struggling trader reviews. The best thing you can do is stop trading altogether, learn what a good setup looks like, and then you start doing one trade per day, no more than one trade, because at this rate you're gonna blow up. You'll be making like 4, 5, 6 trades per day, and like all of them almost are losing trades. You know, not good. Yeah, I agree. Like a lot of these guys, they haven't even followed the like basic rules. From now on, I'm gonna disqualify anyone who sends me low ADR stocks. It's completely true. You're right. It's a waste of everyone's time. Okay, so okay. Car. Entry here. Exit here. At this point we know. I probably, you know, there's nothing more to add. Like, you know, entry here. Everyone who has actually, you know, spent time with this knows it's a bad idea. So no comment on that one. Entry here. No. Yeah, entry here. And exit here. I don't know why he exited on this day, no idea. The entry was good. It was an EP. No idea why he exited here. Makes no sense. I mean, maybe if you sold like a partial because it was day 4 or day 5, but I don't know why he exited all of it. Let's see, NXST. Entry here. Exit here. So there's a few things I don't understand. How did he not get stopped on this day here? Like, I mean, it was a decent setup. It was an okay setup, maybe a 4-star. So my first question is, how did he not get stopped out here? Because it did take out the lows for the previous day. And why did he sell everything on this day here? So it was an okay setup, but he probably should have gotten stopped out the second day he entered. Let's see, Chumia. Let's see. Not sure if I understand this one. When's the entry? 7th of April. 7th of April. I mean, like what do you see here? Is there a setup here? Does this look remotely anything like I teach? And again, it comes down to very simple things. People, or most of the people so far I've done their struggling trader review, they don't have a basic concept of a good setup. And it's very simple to fix that. It just takes a little bit of time. Like, and for this guy too, I would, let's see, what's his name? RJB 55555. You probably should stop trading right now, because at this rate you're gonna blow up soon. And you should review what's a good setup. He traded Riot here. That was a good setup. This one was just a very tricky trader. So this is the first really good setup, but it failed. Well, actually, it did work for a few days, and then it just went straight down. And if you want to keep trading, do no more than 1 trade per day. If you feel like you really need to trade, if you feel that urge, no more than 1 trade per day. Let's see, Citibank, Citigroup. Let's see, what's the date here? 12th of April. Again, like, this is like an like the setup itself was decent, but ADR 2.2, you shouldn't even be touching this thing. Let's see here. So the entry was here. We pretty much anticipated the breakout that didn't happen, so it got stopped out the next day. And you shouldn't even be trading this thing. Like, the setup itself was decent, it's just the wrong type of stock. ADR 2.2. You should never trade stuff like that. Okay. Let's see if I can find another one. Okay, let's see. I think I found one. Okay, so M Marcus 256. So he entered here and got stopped out, I presume the next day, because that's when the low of the first day was taken out. Like, the setup itself, it was surfing the 50, was in an uptrend. It was actually a pretty decent setup. This is a good setup. There's nothing else to say. Very orderly and got tight, was surfing the 50-day, building higher lows. Very good setup. It just didn't work because the market was pretty shitty. Next one, OLN. And this is not a good setup. This is not a good setup at all. This is a very bad setup. It wasn't tight before. Like, it was surfing the 10 and 20 day, building higher lows, but it needs to be tight, and it wasn't. It was just all over the place coming into this breakout here, and then it got stopped out the next day. It just looks very random. So this was not a good setup at all. Futu. And now I don't want it. Now I don't want it. Okay, it looks like Nasdaq and the semis are bouncing. Commodities are selling off. What's my CLF doing? Yeah, CLF is lower from where I sold it. Russell is weak. Financials are weak. Man, this KRE and DPS, they had such beautiful, beautiful charts. I was really looking forward to this, but nope. Yeah, now I don't want it. It's probably gonna bounce here, but you know what? I'm waiting for more. This is what I'm saying. Like, you know, that one stock that looks good and is breaking out. It's usually it's a fool's game. You know, you want to buy breakouts when there's a lot of setup, when a lot of things are breaking out. You're feeling you're missing out. You're passing on 4 and 5 star setups because there's, you know, only so many things you can focus on. That's what you want to see, not something like this. There's just one random stock that looks good. And now people are like, yeah, but they had an offering. It doesn't matter. In a good market, the stock would have been 5% higher. It's failing because it's a shitty market, not because it had an offering. Yeah, that's a good one. Hey, Tom Tesla, that's a genius sentence. If your stock candle, yeah, if the setup looks like a barcode, don't trade it. That's a good one. That's a really good one. If all, you know, you want tightness. You don't want it to be all over the place. How deep I don't care percentage wise how deep a pullback is. I don't look at it that way. I really don't care. Not something I pay attention to. It can be whatever. I bought this Tiger. This thing was down 66% from the highs. Or actually, when I bought it, it was down like 60% from the highs. So it doesn't really matter. What it matters is where does it find support, on the 20 or the 50. In this case, it was the 100-day, and how it acts around that moving average. That's what matters. All right, let's do a struggling trader thingy. I don't know who this is or what the handle of this person is. Okay, I emailed him. All right. Let's see here. Okay, again, SOS. Buying something like this mid-March, one of these speculative hype pump stocks. You know, it failed because, you know, the speculation money left. Mid-February, late February, that's when the speculation money left. And no one's been willing to buy. All these SPACs, all of those things faded and faded and faded. And it's the same with these, like, many of these crypto miners and stuff like that. DMTK. Well, it's probably gonna see, like, this again, it's a good setup, but the problem is it's mid-March. That's why it failed, right? And let's look at the Nasdaq. Why shouldn't you buy breakouts mid-March? Well, because the 20-day was declining and the 10-day moving average was below the 20-day. That's it. That's when you shouldn't buy breakouts under those conditions. Next one, MU. Here, again, mid-March. Good setup. Like, this is a good setup. Had this happened a few months earlier, it would have gone up a lot. Same thing with the previous one, DMTK. But the conditions weren't good for breakouts. And also here, I'm not sure. No, I didn't buy it there. Okay. Next one, WDC. It's the same as MU. Not as good of a setup. MU was much better setup. But again, same day. Oh, a short. I'm not even gonna go through these. Now this thing actually worked. It's actually straight down since, except for this little day here. But if you use the highs of this day as your stop, but this is a breakdown. And you know, these things can work. I don't really do a lot of breakdowns, except when there are like these really extended stocks like Plug and Tesla back in mid-February. That's the only time pretty much I do breakdowns. TME. Now, like again, mid-March, you shouldn't have bought any breakouts there because, you know, the 10-day was below the 20-day. And the 20-day was sloping lower on the Nasdaq. But this thing worked for a few days. And then it went to shit. Gamble. This one I traded myself, but, you know, just because I was bored. I was thinking just in case, but never went anywhere. Tayop. Again, like, it's a good setup. It's a good setup, but again, mid-March, don't buy breakouts in a condition like that. Like I'm telling you guys, the 10 and 20-day, put them on the major indices. I think Nasdaq is the best one. On Russell, you can use two. Nasdaq and or Russell. You don't ever have to look at the SPYs because we never trade these stocks anyways. Most of the stocks you guys are gonna trade are gonna be in the Russell. Use the 10 and 20, okay? If the 10-day and 20-day are sloping higher and the 10-day is above the 20-day, that's generally a good time to buy breakouts. And if those conditions are not met, it's generally not a good time to buy breakouts. It will keep you in most of the good markets and it will keep you out most of the bad markets. It's like, you know, there were a lot more trades here, you know, very mediocre setups. Like something like this, it's not a good setup. Why? Because it's all over the place. Look at these white candles and wicks, and there's no linearity. It's just it looks so random. He bought it here. Like, I see the setup, but it's not a good setup because it's all over the place. Next one is shit. Let's see, D-Dog. And then D-Dog, another breakdown setup. This one didn't work out. He shorted it here. And it's the same principle as buying breakouts. You have a stock in a downtrend, surfing the 10, the 20. In this case, they're downsloping, right? And this And then you get the breakdown. It's like flip the chart and you will have a great breakout setup. 2 tight days, like it's a good setup. It did work out a little bit, but these types of breakdowns are very random, and like I don't do these because they're just super hard. Anyway, FLGT, I did buy it that day actually, but again, mid-March, that's the thing. Don't buy breakouts in a APTO here too. Late March. This one, the volume kind of died off. And you know, like these types of setups worked really great, like December, January, February. But when you want to buy, if you're gonna buy any type of these micro cap, you know, these big flyers, you gotta ask yourself, have they been working recently? If the answer is yes, go for it. If the answer is no, pass on it. And back in March, you know, these micro small caps, they didn't make any moves. Then another one late March. Box. Like the setup itself was okay. But then it got stuck in the gap down. I don't know, was it earnings? Never hold into earnings. I guess it was earnings. Or I don't know, maybe it wasn't. And again, Trip, yeah, I'm not gonna go through. Oh my god, there's so many of them. GPRE. I don't know why you bought it here. Here was a decent setup, okay? This is where it broke out, not here. This is this kind of setup you buy if you don't wanna make it in trading. This is where it broke out. Okay, broke out of a tight range. At a tight range day before. This was the range breakout. This is a chaser breakout. UPSD, bought it here. So late March, the 10-day was still sloping down and the 20-day was still sloping down. So, you know, still not a time you should be buying this many breakouts. It's not like he bought 1 or 2. He did a lot of them. Like I'm skipping a lot of these stocks. Like I'm just skipping like 10, 15 because he has so many in his. And this one I'm gonna tell you right now. A micro cap. Wait, SFI. A micro cap. Don't buy micro caps that are surfing the 50-day. On micro caps, you only do the 10 and the 20. You can do the 50-day on mid and large cap stocks because those have like institutional support. These types are more retail driven, and you know, usually when a stock like this gets to the 50-day, it's done. So most of those setups were okay. Or maybe, no, not most. Maybe half of them. Half of them were shit. But the market conditions. Like, literally, you shouldn't have done none of these trades, really. All of these were like March, I think. Or from mid-March to mid-April. If you just had, you know, followed the 10-20 average rules on the Nasdaq and Russell, you would have saved yourself a lot of money and headache. Market conditions are super important. Any idiot can learn a setup. The hard thing is to realize when it works and when it doesn't. That's the hard part. That's what takes time. And this is why I'm doing these trader reviews, to show you guys, you know, what works in January won't work in March. Market environment matters. What's a microcap? There's no official definition, but I would say everything below 500 million market cap is a microcap. And everything below between, say, 500 million and maybe 3-4 billion, would be like a small cap. There's been a lot of market cap expansion like the past 4 or 5 years, so the definitions have kind of changed. Like 10 years ago, I would say like anything below 200 million was a micro cap, but now that number is probably closer to 500 million. Just, you know, there's so many stocks that have a market cap expansion this bull market over the past 10, 11 years. Yeah, if it looks like a barcode, don't trade it. Yeah. Like GMBL here looked like a barcode. These types of barcode setups, like what you get, look at these wide candles. They're all over the place. This is not a tight setup. Versus something looking like, let's take something with a similar market cap. Man, I can't think of, I'm trying to remember some other micro caps that had ran in January, February. Come on, give me something, man. I don't remember. I don't remember those. Wait, was laser one? No, not laser. Which? Oh, let's just take one of these weed names. Like this is tight, right? This is tight. Right, this is tightness, right? It's not all over the place. It's kind of narrow ranges. Or this Tilray that it's a little bit higher market cap, but you guys are not helping me out, so I have to do this. Like this one, I had some decent size in. Like this was kind of tight. Versus this GMBL. I mean, it's just chop all over the place. You want linearity, not randomness. Sense, yes, yes. Thank you. Finally, you guys are helping me out. Yes. Similar market cap, right? Similar price range, or actually a little bit lower price. But, you know, look at something like this. Look at how tight it was, right? And here, this breakout too. Look at how tight it was. That's what you want to see. You want tightness. You want wide ranges that become tight ranges. If you have like wide ranges that, you know, they're still wide ranges, they don't become tight, that's randomness. I'm always looking for tightening up action, relative strength, higher lows. I want the odds on my side. I don't want random things in my portfolio. Now, sometimes I do some random stupid shit that I regret later on. It happens to everyone, but you know, the less you do it, the better your trading results will be. I don't look at volume. But yeah, generally when a stock goes sideways in a narrow range, it usually has less volume too. But I really don't look at volume unless it's an episodic pivot. As long as it satisfies my minimum volume dollar volume requirement, I don't care. And if some random, let's look at some consolidation, like, you know, something like Nvidia. Look at it had, you know, higher volume on these up days here, and now the volume is kind of narrowing again because the range is getting tighter. The percentage moves get tighter, so the, you know, volume kind of dies off. But if it has like one random day, a little bit higher volume, I don't give a shit. If the setup is good, I don't give a shit. It could be just a block trade or something. Now this is an extreme example. It's a mega cap, but you know, especially like if it's something like a micro small cap, you know, just, you know, one block trade can distort the whole volume for that day. And it can be just super random. Doesn't mean anything. Alright, CLH. I'm reading it right. This was when he entered and got stopped out. Was it a good setup? I don't think it was. Wide and loose. It wasn't nice and tight. Next one, APHC. That's the same day I entered it. I thought it was a decent setup, but Then it mean reversed and went to shit. Like, I thought it was a good setup, but obviously it didn't work out. Apps. Here, okay, let's see here. Was it nice and tight? Could have been tighter. I would have preferred it. It didn't feel really complete. It was a little bit too loose. But otherwise, it was an okay setup. But at some point, you know, stocks gotta rest. Like, you know, you go back, this stock was already up like in a year. This stock was already up over 2000%, and you know, no stocks go up forever. So you gotta put that in perspective. You know, if this base was down here, it would have probably worked out. At some point, you know, things just have to rest. Etsy. They stay here. Was it a good setup? It was an okay setup, but it was surfing the 50-day, building higher lows, got a little bit tighter before the breakout, took out this nice range, but it failed. And also, remember, the Nasdaq was also in a downtrend. It was below the 20-day was sloping down, the 10-day was sloping down. So it's not really a great environment to buy breakouts. That's why I've gone through many times. When these moving averages are sloping down. Next one, I'm not sure what date it was, March 26. March 26. Wait, March 26. That's a good setup. That's where I bought AIM at. But he sold the same day, from what I understand. Okay. UNFI. Bought it here. Was it a good setup? You know what? It was actually pretty decent. Nice trend, clean trend. Kept surfing the 20-day. Had this tight range and then the range expansion. It was an okay setup. Nothing crazy. But it didn't work out. The market has been kind of tricky. Mogo. Again. This one wasn't really a... You know, like buying microcaps of the 50-day, it's usually better. Like this type of microcap stocks, they're better to buy off the rising 10 and the rising 20-day. Not the 50, it doesn't work out as well, in my opinion. The 50 is more for like larger cap and mid cap stocks that have better institutional support. These microcaps can be a little bit too random. 8th of April. Not a good setup. It's kind of all over the place. It was a much better setup here when it had completed a better flag, but right here it was too short of a flag. Looked too choppy. And even here where it had a great setup, it failed because the market was kind of so-so. MSTR 0409. Well, the common theme for all of them, some of them were okay setups, some of them were not very good. The common theme is it hasn't been a great breakout market for the past like 2 months. That's the problem. That's the problem. Especially not for these like micro and small cap stocks. Large caps have been working fairly well, but micro and small caps haven't really been working well at all. MSTR, the 9th of April, I really don't see anything here. It looks super random. It's below the 50-day, below, like all these, it's no, not a good setup, too random. Focus on the ones that are surfing the rising moving averages. W. 9th of April? I don't know. Wait for the breakout. Like, I see what you saw here. You gotta wait for the breakout. You need the stock to prove itself. Otherwise, you're gonna wait for something that may never happen. And what was the one? Riot on the 12th of April. 12. Oh, that's when I bought it. Yeah. It looked okay, but obviously it didn't really work out that well. It went up for a couple of days and then it just hard reversed. You know what's interesting with Mara and Riot? They bounced off the rising 100-day and now they're building these small ranges. Not a traditional setup of mine, but this is like one of the more exciting sectors, the cryptos, Bitcoin, all of that. It's something I will keep an eye on. mRNA, 9th of April. Wait, that's a not really type of setup I'm trying to teach you, but I see what you see. It was kind of surfing the 100-day, reclaimed, and had this range expansion candle. And yeah, it worked out really well. Fiverr. Again, like these, you know, avoid these types of setups. It's focus on the ones that are surfing the, in this case, it was like a mid-cap stock. Like I taught you guys, if you watch the swing trading school videos, focus on the ones that are surfing the 10, 20, and 50-day. And if it's a micro cap, you know, don't even look at the ones that are surfing the 50-day. Like these types of setups, they're not good. And it's pretty much the more of the same. End tap on this day here. Yeah, I don't know. It looks. Oh, ADR 2.1. You shouldn't even be touching this thing, but I see what you see. It's a kind of a tight flag, you know, nice trend, surfing the 10-day. I see what you see, but you know, these types of setups in a market like this, not really tough. Yeah, best time to buy breakouts is when the market comes out of a multi-month range or comes out of a multi-month correction. That's when you usually get free money when it comes to breakouts. But again, since like mid-late February, breakout trading has been a very tough game. And it's just part of the game. You gotta wait it out. That's how trading is most of the time. You gotta realize it and accept it. And Beely again, like, you know, you keep buying stocks that are kind of broken. Where did you buy it? On this day here. Okay, this one actually did work out. And I see what you see, kind of surfing the 100-day, but again, stick to the ones like I teach in swing trading school. I'm not gonna go through the last couple, it's more of the same. Alright, that was OTrader 1. Okay, so let's say William trades for June. So HL, he bought it on 1st of June. June 1st. Okay, I mean, it was a decent setup, very powerful, but obviously these commodity-related names can be a bit tricky since they are, you know, you know, these types of setups are easier on like growth stocks or like just some, you know, like stocks that are not commodity names. But the setup itself was good. It had a big move from a long base, and you know, it could have worked if it was like a, I don't know, small biotech or something. So it got stopped out the same day. Okay, ARPO. 2nd of June. Bought it on the 2nd of June. Okay, okay, so it's a microcap stock, a lot of momentum. Had a big move, pulled back, went sideways, built a base, and here in the 60-minute you can see better. He had a nice little breakout candle. He bought 183. And yeah, I mean, the setup itself was decent. There was no volume on this breakout day. Or actually, there was a little much higher volume than previous day. Never mind. It's just this volume day was so big you can't see the other volume days. It did go up a little bit, and it's kind of, you know, kind of lost the momentum a little. But still, the percentage move was, yeah, well, actually wasn't too big. But it was still a profitable trade. But today, I guess, if it closes below the 10-day, you know, it would be, he would get stopped out. So ideal scenario is if it reverses. Oh, he's already, oh, okay, so he sold half at 190. Now, why would you sell half at one? Oh, okay, because it was day 3 or day 4 after. Okay, never mind, I get it. Yeah, you followed sell rules. That's good, that's good. You're still in half, and the half, the stop on the other half should be at break even. So what he did, he bought it here, 183. It's a decent entry. Sold half, I think 3 or 4 days later at 190. Perfect, very good. And now he's still in half. And the stop on the second half should be a break even. And if it closes below the 10-day, you sell the, you know, you sell the second half before the close. All right, let's do the next stock. Farm entry 2nd of June. Okay. Yeah, it had a big move. Yeah, packaged foods. It's a, you know, microcap stock, but you know, it's better if you kind of, you know, some sectors are just tough. But yeah, I mean, he bought here and sold here. Wait, what's AMC doing? It's pulling back. Fucking Kenny boy. All right, let's continue. Let's see here. 4th of June. I don't know why I bought it the 4th of June. 445. Because it broke out of this range. And they sold 428 on the 4th of... Wait, he sold the same day? I don't understand. Why would you sell this thing the same day? I don't get this one. The setup itself, it was better the day before. But, you know, if you look at the 60, it kind of failed. Went back into range, built a higher low, and next day tried to re-break. But, yeah, it wasn't an ideal scenario. None of these are like 5-star setups. Still, they're kind of random stocks. They take just a lot of random stocks in here. And it's kind of hard to explain what's random and what's not. Kind of hard to kind of explain it. You'll get it with experience. You'll see certain sectors are just, you know, very tough. Lisi, I don't know. I don't see anything in this one. It's just too random. There's no range here. 4th of June and then sold 8th of June. Sold all of it? Why all of it on 8th of June? Just a random sale. It's just a random trade overall. CRC, 7th of June. Let's see. 7th of... Why would you buy it the 7th of June when it had a good setup on the 4th of June, the day before? Like, this is not a breakout. This is the breakout. Okay? Look at the narrow range candle, and then it had this range expansion candle. This was a chase, but it looks like he's still in it. It's all gas sector. The whole sector is strong. It's probably gonna work out. But don't chase these things. CTXR. 7th of June. 7th of June. Again, Was this a good setup? It wasn't like there's nothing special about this stock. It's kind of random. Yeah, it had some momentum. Okay, 50% move, but it's just too choppy. It wasn't narrow or anything. It's and it would have stopped you out. So I don't know why you're still in it. If you bought it on this, oh, you sold it. Never mind. 238. Okay, so you followed sell rules. Yeah, that's good. And now obviously it's working. But it was kind of a wide and loose situation. STKS, let's see here. Oh, this is a random one. Yeah, it looks like a barcode. It looks like a barcode. 6-7, and he's still in it, so it's working out for now. But he should have sold half already. I don't see that he sold half. He should have sold half after 3 to 5 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Should have sold Playboy. Oh, Playboy! No reason to sell this. Perma buy. It's a long-term investment. You know, you can't go wrong by buying Playboy. You know, full disclosure, best company ever. Wait, wait. My mouse stopped working. I need to charge. Wait, where is my cable? Where is it? How can I charge? Okay, here. Is this one connected? I hope it is. Okay. Okay, it's working again. So he bought it 8th of June. 8th of June? Why do you buy it 8th of June? Like, I get it if you bought it the 7th. That was the range breakup. It wasn't really a good setup. Wide and loose. Again, wide and loose. You need tight and nice. Not wide and loose. GoPro. It's another random stock. These things are too random. You really want the spectacular ones, the ones that make really like big moves, like the outlier ones. Too many random ones that just pop on scan. So he bought it 1162. Okay, it was a decent entry. And you know, it was a nice little mini setup. Nothing 5-star, but you know, try to focus on 5-star, and it's still working. It's building higher lows. And again, this one too, he should have sold a third to half already after 3 to 5 days. Or actually, today is day 5, so there's still time to lock in, you know, a third to half, and then trail the rest with the 10-day. 10. Let's see here. 10th of June. Where is it? 1st of June. Yeah. No, it's too short. It's already kind of overextended. Like, it's super extended, and it already had like 1, 2 setups in a very short amount of time. Like, it's not like stocks keep going forever and ever, right? You want to buy the first or second breakout, and usually the longer, the more, you know, they need to like time to digest. It tried to break out, but you know, this would have been a better setup if it was down here. But at some point, you know, when things go up a lot, they just kind of stop going up. They're gonna chop around, and this is what happened. Not a 5-star setup at all. You need an edge. That was not an edge setup. Sim, 10th of June. 10th of June. Again, why would you buy the 10th of June? It looks too random. Again, it's not really a great setup. It's already, you know, made a big move, and there's nothing special about it. It's kind of hard to explain, but you know, it already had like several base breakouts over several months. Like, you can't just keep buying, you know, breakout number 7, 8 in a few months and just expect them to go straight up. It's just not how it works. You want to buy, like let's say, like this is a great setup, guys. This is like picture perfect. This is your role model breakout. Study something like this. Makes a huge move on big volume. More than triples, right? Pulls back, finds support around the 10, 20, goes sideways, right? Tightens up, and then breaks out on volume again, right? From this tight range, okay? First base breakout. That's the, you don't need to trade 10 different tickers per day. If you can just, you know, find the superstar ones, those are all you need. This is a superstar. Those are the ones, okay, the model stock. These are the ones you need to try to find. Oh, looks like Kenny Boy found AMC again. Fuck. Fucking Kenny Boy. And also, look at the setups I'm watching. Okay? Like BB. This is the first base after a big move. Now it looks like it's kind of failing now, but you know, if it can go sideways a few more days, you know, there could be a good setup here. First breakout from the big spike, right? Orderly pullback. And you know, it's not, you know, there yet, but maybe in a few days. CLNE2, first break, you know, first pullback. The first base it builds after pullback. CLOV also, like, and Beyond Meat too, that a big move, and now it's orderly pulling back and going sideways. Actually, it's not even pulling back, it's just going sideways, building higher lows, right? First base, it's not base 7 or 8 on a random stock. No, it's a very clean move. These are stocks with an edge, okay? These are not random names. CLF. What a fader. Brazil is holding up really well. That's a good one. All right, next one. Ticker question mark. Zim. I already went through Zim. Ticker Kin. K-I-N. Let's see. 11th of June. 11th of June. Again, you know, there's no range here. Needs to, you know, you want to see at least some higher lows. You know, and also generally you want the 10-day to catch up. The 10-day didn't you know, it was far away from the 10-day. The best ones are when the 10-day or the 20-day catches up to price. MNMD. But otherwise, it was a good idea. It would have been better set up if it had waited a few days and let the 10-day catch up. But this is something you want to see. Something goes up 50% in a few days, right? That means it has momentum, it has attention. That has potential. Versus something like the CIM we looked at before, like this just keeps grinding, pulling back, grinding, pulling back. Not a great trading stock. MNMD, what's this? 11th of June, again, like, there's nothing here. There's nothing here. Like this little flag, it wasn't a good flag. It wasn't a good flag. I'm gonna show you a good flag, NMND, model stock, right? This is a good flag. Super explosive stock. Look how it's been building higher lows, tightening up, and then a big volume breakout. Actually, the volume, yeah, big volume breakout. And then it had like secondary breakouts, like something like this. Something like this when it bounced off the 10-day. Let's look at the 60 minutes. Sometimes, you know, 60 minute can show a better picture on these micro cap names. This one, you know, this continuation breakout was a little bit tricky. Where is it? Was it here? No, here. It was here. What did it look like? Yeah, it was a little bit tricky. It wasn't clean. So I you know, but yeah, definitely this one breakout. You only need a few per quarter, you know, to find these. Few per quarter, and you're gonna double, triple your account per year, every year. And if you can find more than a few per quarter, you can make 300%, 500%. You need to focus on the most explosive ones, the cleanest ones. And you know, just it takes a lot of time to understand what's random and what's not. E-Man, 14th of June. You know what? That's a good setup. That's a good setup. Went up 65% in 2 sessions. Pulled back, orderly pullback. Had some tightness. Broke out of that range. You know what? This is a good setup. I like it. And in that big volume, that's good. BBW. Yeah, this one failed. Another, yeah, it failed. It was an okay setup, but yeah, I don't know. You know, you're not gonna have 100% win rate. So CPE, well, that wasn't a good setup. Oh, 14th of June? Yeah, 14th of June was definitely... I'm trying to imagine how it looked like before. No, it's just... And also it's an all gas stock. You know, you would be better off if you look at the ETFs. Like, what's the sector doing? XOP, ERX. They weren't ready to go. A good breakout on these oil ETFs were like 2 weeks ago when I bought them. When I bought this NRQ. For CPE, that would have meant this day here. That was a much better setup. Again, it's a commodity name. You gotta be aware what's going on with the commodity overall. MDJH. Let's see. Yesterday, I guess. Yeah, yesterday was a good setup. Explosive move, pull back, orderly pull up, built a tight range, and try to break out. It's just failing. You know, it happens. TTI. Oh, I can already say this is a random stock. Don't trade it. You bought it the 14th. Nah, not a good setup. No. It's just all over the place. Barcode and oil gas. Yeah. No. This thing hasn't had a single... Well, actually, it had a good setup down here. This is a really good setup. Look at how linear it was. Not a barcode, just linear. Very linear. Look how smooth and linear it was. And now, since then, it hadn't had any setups, really. It's just all over the place. I'm buying it up here. No. That's just randomness. All right. That was it. Oh, my God. Whew. Oh, okay. Entry 1705. Oh, that's a beautiful one. I like that. Beautiful. Beautiful flag break. 468. Yeah, good level. Let's see. Exit 525. 25.5 was the exit. Let's see. 20. Wait. I'm sorry. What? Why did you sell it the 25th? Why didn't you trail it? He sold a third on third day, so he sold a third here. Why didn't you trail it with a 10-day? This should have been your exit day. Alright. Otherwise, it was a nice trade. A good setup and everything. Let's see. 1705. Okay. Yeah, you know what? Not a traditional setup, but it was one right range break, and the whole sector broke out, the oil and gas sector. Not a great setup in itself, but it's a type of setup you can trade, absolutely. Wait. Oh, there it is. 241. You entered here. Okay. Exit. Wait. You sold it the same day? You entered too late and didn't like the risk reward. Okay. All right. RFP 25.5. Let's see, where is it? Not a great setup at all. It was wide and loose. It wasn't an explosive stock. Paper products, you know. No, it wasn't a good setup here. Wide and loose, not nice and tight. RRD. No, it's the same stock. Okay, I don't get it. Okay, ICE 27.5, 27.5. Why did you spy it the 27th? I guess you mean the 28th? But again, you know, these types of setups coming out of lows, the focus on flags. These are, you know, they're tough. And you sold it the same day, okay? T-up, another one, you sold it the same day, 27. And again, here we are again. Just some random, you know, like guys, don't buy these, you know, these broken stocks, especially not if they're micro cap. Like they're one and done. There's no institutional support on them. There's no reason for them to go up. Focus on flags. Don't buy broken micro caps. Avoid it. That was the same conclusion we had in the last batch of struggling trader reviews 2 months ago, or a month and a half ago. You know, but people kept buying these broken microcap stocks. Just avoid. Once they lose the 20, generally you can just ignore them. Let's see, AV26. Okay. It was a flag, absolutely. A little bit of a flag break. Not maybe a 3-star setup, nothing exceptional. It did work out. But you sold it the same day? Okay. Oh, because it closed weak? Okay, I get it. Yeah. SB26. Wait, well, what's AMD doing? AMC. Oh! Wait, AMC is ticking higher while BB took out the lows of the day. Well, that's good. I want the AMC to go higher. I want it to go to 150 and then do 3 million. Sorry, 2 million. Which one was I on? Oh, SB26, right? 26. This type of setup, no, not a good setup. No. It needs to be surfing the 10 and 20. This thing was below, and no, not a good setup. Like this was a good setup, okay? This 5-star setup. It didn't work out. But this is not a good setup. You know, no. It needs to be surfing the moving averages. Higher, 3-6. No, not a good setup. What is this? What is this? It's just a random day on a random stock. No, focus on nice and tight. Nice and tight. Needs to be nice and tight. A better setup would have been on this day here. Okay, when it actually broke out of this narrow range. Higher. No, I'm on higher. CTXR. 7-6. Oh, yeah, 7 to June. Okay. Man, these US formats are so illogical. CTXR, it's no, I mean, no, it wasn't really a big momentum stock, and it stopped you out the day after because it wasn't nice and tight. It did end up working though, but that's not the point. MOXC, let's see. 9th of June. Again, not a good setup. Why do you buy it after it this would have been a better entry, okay? This was like a 3.5-star setup. This is 0 stars. Buying it on this day here is a 0-star setup. Other than that, it was pretty decent. They had a big move, pulled back, started surfing the 20. But the entry, this was a fairly good setup, you know, 3.5 stars. Obviously it didn't work out, but what's AMC doing? AMC is strong. Let's see, what do we have here? CREX 10-6. Oh, okay, that was a pretty decent setup. Yeah, it's really good. Higher lows, tight range. Just didn't work out yet. But you should still be in it. You should have sold a third to half by now, or today at least. You should do it 1, 2, 3, 4. Today is actually day 4. Yeah, this thing has still potential. You should still be in it. Are you in it? No, you're not. Why? Why you're not in it? And you didn't give me anything. Oh, there it is. What's the comment on this one? Anticipated a breakout, and even if it was breaking out, the volume was too low. Okay. You don't need crazy volume on a breakout. Stocks can go up on low volume too. Volume only matters on EP. 10-6. 10. Wait. 10. Oh, absolutely. Like, what's the setup here? Wait, you traded it. What are you doing? You traded it 3 times the same day? There's no setup here. Where's the range? Is it surfing the moving averages? This is just a random day, and you took 3 losses on it that day. That's what happens when you trade random things. WPG. Oh my god, this thing totally died. Let's see, 6th of June. Wait, 6th of June? Where is the 6th of June? Wait. No, the 11th. Damn, these American formats are so stupid. What are you doing? What? Why did you buy it on this day here? And your notes make no sense. Surfing the 20-day at the end. You anticipated. This is why I don't anticipate stuff. And why do you buy it? There's no setup there. And it's not surfing the 20-day. It's surfing the 10-day. Dude. What the hell, man? No. Big no. BBW. 14th of June. Again. Not a setup there. Look at the wideness of the previous day. ETNR 14th. Again, like, why are you buying something like this? Look at the wideness of the previous day. Look for nice and tight, not wide and loose. This is not a setup. It didn't even break the previous day's highs. It never even had a breakout. Why are you anticipating these breakouts that never happened? Don't anticipate. Guys, if you're gonna anticipate, it really needs to be something special. And you know, if you haven't made like a few million in trading yet, you don't know what's really special. So don't anticipate. What's this? 15. Again, what are you doing? Wait for the ranges to develop. This is just some random stock having a random day. Guys, you're gonna blow up. You're gonna bleed out. You're gonna bleed out. Let's see. Now this was a good setup. You know, like a 4-star setup. 3.5. It had a big move. It was really a gap up and fade. Pulled back, found support on the 10-day, started building higher lows. On the 60-minute, you can see it a little bit better. They had this range, and once that, you know, on this candle here, that would have been the breakout. Let's see, what's your entry? BCTX 578. Again, you're kind of anticipating things. You bought it before it even took out the previous day's highs. There's no need to do it. I mean, no, don't do it. Stop with this anticipation bullshit. The correct entry would have been around in the 6 area, low 6s maybe. I would say 6 area. Once he took out the highs of the intraday highs, and also it wasn't like a really great setup to begin with. It is going higher, yes, but it was like a 3.5 star. All right, that's that. All right, wait, where is AMC? I expect AMC to bet 70 once I've finished with this. Okay, ARPO 14th. No, sorry, 4th of June. Why? Why do you buy it there? Why? The entry was the 2nd of June. Why do you buy it here? Why do you buy it here? Here it was nice and tight. Here is wide and loose. Beyond meat. Bought it here. Actually, I bought it the same day too. I got stopped. I didn't even get stopped out. I just stopped myself out before it closed to free up buying power. It was a decent setup, but it's a better setup now. Crocs. He didn't write any exits on this one, so I hope he's not still in it, because it would have stopped him out. It should have stopped him out. Crocs, no. ADR 4, no. It's a sloppy stock. This is not a swing trading stock. Wrong type of stock. No. Not a momentum leader. 7th, nah, yeah, okay, okay. Nah, no. Focus on the strong ones. Focus on the leaders. Flowers, 7th. That was a decent setup. He sold some here. That's good. Yeah. That was okay one. BW. 7th. Oh, no. Horrible setup. No. And again, where's the momentum on this thing? It's a sloppy stock. It's all over the place. It looks like a barcode. It's not a good stock to trade to begin with, and it wasn't a good setup. Space, 7th of June. Let's see here. 7th of June. Okay. Yeah, okay. I was a high momentum stock. Let's see, where did he enter? It doesn't say where he entered, but I guess he entered somewhere here, like low mid 32s or something. It was a decent setup. It was getting a bit extended. It had like a base here, base here, base here. But, it's kind of working out for now, so that's good. LKCO. Nothing super great yet, but let's see. 8th of June. 8th of June. Again, this is just a random stock. Like, it's where's the setup? 8, like why? Like what is this? Like, is it nice and tight, or is it wide and loose? Where's the range? It's just a random day on a random stock. Galt. Oh, barcode. 8th of June. Yeah, no. Guys, these microcap stocks, once they lost the 20-day, they're done. Ignore. There's nothing there. There's no buying pressure on these things. These are just pump and dumps. Like, there's no constant buying pressure on these things. Once they lose the 20, they're done. SMMT. 8 of... Okay, so this was a decent one. Had a nice move. Went up 57% in a few days. Started surfing the 10. Built higher lows. Nice triangle. Nice triangle. Tried to break out, but totally failed. Totally failed. But the setup was good. This is one of the better setups so far. It just didn't work out. Chris, no. I mean, I maybe, yeah, I see what you see, but yeah, this is the same thing. Kind of tried to break out, then it reversed. NMRK. Oh, no. 2.9 ADR. You can... No. Just no. Where did you buy? Here? Yeah, no. It's not a swing trading stock. Slow as hell. Ignore this. You shouldn't be in this, something like this. You shouldn't even get something like this in your scans. Oh, hell. 8. How many trades did you do the 8th of June? Are you kidding me? Dude, you're trading way too much. You're gonna blow up. You're gonna blow up. Again, like, this is not a setup. Why would you buy it there? Like, it was a good idea, you know, big move. But it needs to go sideways a bit more. Just let the 10-day catch up, you know? Let the 10-day catch up. Don't be so eager to get in on some random stocks. Just let the setup develop. Okay, MOXC. Let's see, where is it? Here. That's a good setup. That was a good setup. Didn't have much follow through though, which, you know, that was a good setup. Zim. Again, we've talked about this stock before. It's not a great momentum stock. It's more of a grinder. Focus on the momentum leaders. This is a grinder. Very tough to try to trade the grinder. Wait, did I sell CLF at the lows? Oh, for fuck's sake, I hate my life. I hate my life. Okay, 9th of June. That was a 5-star setup. And if you're not a moron like me, you should probably be in it. I hate my life. X, that was a laggard, but yeah, it was a decent setup. GNK. Is that the AMC? Oh yeah! Fuck yeah, come on! Go to 70! Guys, the hedge funds are starting to feel the pain. Let's go. Let's go. Man, these guys don't know what's waiting. They don't know. They're gonna blow up. At least one hedge fund is gonna blow up. Oh man, these guys are so clueless. They don't know what's coming for them. Pain. I don't know how you spell pain. Here, this is how you spell pain. Pain. This is what's coming for the hedge funds. Oh man, these guys are so clueless. Oh man, so many hedge funders gonna be out of a job. And out of net worth. Okay, GNK. Let's go back to this. GNK, let's see, 9th, no, sorry, 9th, okay, I can already tell you, like, okay, yeah, okay, this was a good setup, this was a great setup. It had been building this triangle, higher lows, lower highs, a tight range, 2 tight days, and then it had this range breakout. That was the entry, okay? This is a chaser's entry, not ideal, not ideal, don't chase. It did work out, but this was the entry. Focus on these ones. This was more of a chaser's entry. It's working out, but Legan 9th, again, it's too low ADR to begin with. Wait, GNK was too low too. No, that was 5.6. What was it? Legion. Oh man, these guys are so clueless. The hedge funders. Oh man, this. Now, Legan today would be a much better setup. It found support on the rising 20. Had a tight day before. This would be a much better setup than this. You always want to buy them when they're kind of bouncing off a moving average. If it's a 10 or the 20. Yeah, I mean, it was okay, but I don't know. Let's see, SIG. Let's see, 10th. Yeah, that was a good setup. It was an EP, and it's still working. Could go much higher. Billy. Let's see, what? 10th? 10th, not a good setup, no. ADR 3.8, you shouldn't be trading this thing. And there was no setup here, like, it's just a random update on a, you know, no. Doesn't look like a good setup at all. EXK, here. Oh, it's a silver stock. Yeah, it was a decent setup, it's just the silver trade didn't work out. HL, same thing, this silver trade didn't work out. E-Man. Now that was a good setup. Oh man, the hedge fund guys, they're so fucking clueless. That was a good setup.
Wait, you entered the 11th? Wait, why did you enter the 11th? The 12th, this day was the entry. 14th, this was the entry day. The 11th, I think you anticipated it a little bit. You got bailed out on this anticipation. But you know, it works. It's working. BBW. Let's see. 11th. Yeah, again, you know, you're a little bit too eager to buy some of these. You're kind of expecting to go straight up. This would be better if it, you know, let the 20-day catch up, have some, build a new range, and then that would be a better setup. TGLS, yeah, that was a better setup. Actually started surfing the 20, had a very nice range, just didn't work out. AMC, oh, AMC, this is, no, I don't care where you bought it, it was a good setup. AMC 14th. Yeah, good setup, 5-star, yep, great. I had nothing bad to say about this trade. ASXC, 14th. Again, it's not a great setup. You know, you kind of have to let them build a range first, you know. Don't buy just because it's building higher lows and it's just, you know, taking out the previous day's highs. You know, wait them for the developer range first. Let them develop an actual flag. You're gonna have better success. And also you're trading a lot, you're taking a lot of trades. It's not gonna end well if you keep taking these mediocre setups. ADOS too, again, like, let it build a range. Okay, there's no range here. Wait, let it go sideways a bit. Today was a good setup. It built several days of range, higher lows. Look at how tight it got on the 60. Like, look at this, is beautiful. 10. Let's see, 15th. No, 14th. Again, you're anticipating stuff. You're anticipating. You know, you got bailed out on this one, but you know, kind of anticipating. It wasn't a great setup. Futu here. Oh, that was a great setup. 5-star. I bought it. 5-star. 5-star. Just didn't work out. Aram. Let's see. The 14th. Again, dude, let the 10-day chill out with it. Don't buy these random, you know, updates on a momentum stock. You're gonna blow up. Just stop doing it. This is not a good setup. Let the range develop. Let the 10-day come, you know, catch up. Like I said before, if you can't draw a triangle, there's no setup. There's no setup. Now it would be, you know, something. Maybe for tomorrow, right? Now it's built some range. Found support on a rising 10. And ideal if we can go sideways a few more days. Oh, come on. Come on. Oh, man. Okay, that was it. That was it. That was today's... Oh, man. Hedge fund brats are gonna blow up left and right. It needs to. Alright, let's do the struggling trader thingy. Okay, so this guy posted some Swedish stocks. Let's try to find them. At least he posted the dates and entries and exits. Very good. Which one? This one. Okay. Well, I can't see the ADR, but I can clearly see this is too low ADR. You can clearly see on the chart, like, this move from 140 to 200 in what, 6 months? It's not an explosive stock. So that's a D- on that one. So let's see, 21st of May was his entry. Wait, May, where's May? His entry was here. No, wait, here. No, it was the wrong type of stock. It wasn't like a... No, it worked in hindsight. No, sorry, that was the... Wait, so he entered and sold the same day? Why would you sell on day one? I don't get it. Okay. Now this is an explosive stock. Okay. Please tell me you bought it here. 1st of June. No, he didn't. He bought it the 21st of April. Okay. No! Am I reading it right? No, wait. The date formats are messed up. He's this is the Swedish date format. Oh, okay. In that case, the last one, I looked at the wrong date. He bought it the 19th of May. Why here? I don't see anything here. In that case, that day was much better. That like an EP. Oh, anywho, very confusing. I don't know. What's going on here? 15th of April. Okay, that's a good one. That's a good setup. Oh, I love charting and trading view. Look at how smooth it is. It's not a 5-star setup, but it's the right type of stock. You know, explosive momentum stock. You know, clean, orderly. Had a high volume. You know, it's a good setup. 4 stars. And he sold it the 7th of June. Wow, that was a home run trade. Nice. I don't know why you sold it the 7th of June. You should have sold it here. This is the day you should have sold the rest of it, I guess. Or wait. Actually, you should have sold it on this day here. But I guess you've trailed it with a 20-day maybe? I'm not sure what the sell rules are. Very confusing. Mint. What's this? 29th of April was the entry. 20. What's. Why? I don't see anything. It's just a I mean, why did you buy it here on this day? What's your edge? Just okay. Next one. They had another entry, 3rd of June. Okay, so it had a failed breakout. This setup, I would say, was a pretty decent setup. It just failed. Okay. Which one? A or B? Let's do B. 31st of May was the entry. Why the 31st? Why they stay here? And it wasn't the right type of stock. It's more of a grinder. It's not a... It's just a slow mover. And played again on the 1st of June. Yes! Yes! This is so good. This is perfect, man. This is 5-star. This is 5.5 stars in a 5-star scale. This is so good. Explosive stock. This thing doubled pretty quickly. Surfing the 20 and getting tighter and tighter and building higher lows and range expansion from this tight range. Beautiful. Okay, at least we finished with a bang. That was great. Very good. The last one. The other is not so much.